good, everybody, and welcome to Weekday Wagers. My name is Mark Wallace. I am so glad that you were able to join us here on this Tuesday here at the Weekday Wager brand, where we're going to bring to you our top two best bets for tonight. And believe me when I tell you, we have a full NHL hockey slate. In fact, I was just talking with Robbie a little bit about some of the narratives going on for tonight's games. It's absolute craziness, absolute madness. However, before we can move forward, you know that we always look back and not a bad night. I guess the great news. Well, first of all, that Calgary Flame game, there was a total of 2 penalties called the entire game, one on each side. I mean, we had a grand total of 4 minutes of power play, one for each team. Absolutely quiet night when it came to penalties there. And DG hitting the Peyton Watson, and I don't care what line you got this, whether it was the original over 20. The guy went off last night and ended up clearing to 24 points. So, jump into that and get you some of that scoring. Speaking of scoring and getting some, got to bring in the guy, the hockey guru, the player prop man himself. Robbie, how the hell are you?
Man, I'm doing great. Yeah, I put in Ryan Leonard for Joe yesterday. He cashed, and then I had that Detroit over 2.5 goals. That cashed in the first period yesterday. My dumb self didn't put it on the site. I put it here, got busy, forgot to put it on the site. So that's on me. That's why it pays to watch live.
Yes, it does. And not only pays to watch live, but listen, get over to the website, because that whole controversy yesterday was DG putting out a play that I know he got early in the morning. I shouldn't even say early in the morning. It was fairly late in the afternoon. Late in the morning, early in the afternoon is what I'm trying to say. I'll get it out. And he got that on the site. And it's crazy because I saw somebody else on another platform who gave out the same exact play. And I looked at that line, and that, believe it or not, Peyton Watson, 20 points, jumped to minus 354 yesterday. And that was at 4:00 in the afternoon. It was absolutely mind-boggling. So get on over to justthatsports.com, where you can get all of these picks, all these plays. I know I have a bunch of plays up there already today, already with some look ahead for the NFL. We're going to get into that more a little bit later. But I do have to mention, yes, look at the hat. There's a reason for this hat. I am pulling out the mojo, everything I can. The start of 2026 has been super goofy, Robbie. And, I was telling you, I look at these plays and I'm like, there's no way this can go bad. And which apparently is the kiss of death now, because every time I look at something, I think it's too good to be true. It usually is. We got a full hockey slate tonight. What do you like? I mean, just looking at the schedule, what do you like, and what kind of scares you?
There's a ton to like. None of it scares me because, like you, I feel great about the slate tonight, which is the kiss of death. But when I have nights like this or days like this, I sometimes will try to second guess myself, and I'm like, no, that looks great. Quit doubting yourself. Your system works. Just stick to it. Bad days are going to happen. But it's a hell of a slate tonight. I've already seen it in the chat. Miko goes back to Carolina. No, he was only there for a cup of coffee, but you got a revenge game there. Anaheim and Philly could be some fireworks. Cutter Gauthier hates Philly. Trevor Zegras hates Anaheim, so that automatically means they hate each other now. So they're going to be going head-to-head tonight. Nashville and Edmonton, back when Nashville was good at hockey, this used to be a game to watch. And it still is, even when we're not. But there's a few plays I know we have on this game tonight that's going to make that worth watching. And then Florida plays Toronto. And if you watch this show, you already know how we go into that game. Brad Marchand's already been chirping the Maple Leafs today and getting his swagger back a little bit. So I think that game, Austin Matthews has 5 goals in 2 games. I think that could produce some fireworks. So it may not be any football, but there's a hell of a good hockey slate tonight.
Yes, and I've already learned my lesson. I'm not placing a single bet on this Toronto-Florida game because every time I do, I end up losing when I back Florida in the spot. But anyway, that's another story for another day. I do have a real quick question that we have to answer and address here. D. Johnson is asking, are we still doing the People's Parlay? And the simple answer to that is yes. The longer answer is I got swamped today and didn't have a chance to put together the plays. I know Robbie already has one play that he's on. I have a couple that I want to look at and make sure before I do it. If you have a play, if you're in the chat right now and the chat is buzzing, if you have a play right now, you want that included in a People's Parlay, I promise you I will cut that video right after the show. We will put that together and get that out in a YouTube short right here on the Weekday Wagers channel. So yes, to answer your question, we're still doing it. Might as well have the first one of 2026 be a winner. Put your plays in the chat.
Absolutely.
Let's get to this full hockey slate, Rob. I mean,
Yeah.
We were talking about it. This Anaheim, Philadelphia Flyers, not the Phillies, Philadelphia Flyer team, there are some real hate, real tension. And what does that do? I guess when you look at this game, how do you take advantage of those kind of narratives?
It fuels you, right? Especially when you look at Zegras. He had a promising start when he was in Anaheim. He was killing it. And then towards the end of his year, he got injured. There's some inconsistencies. I know he had some mental health that he said was brought on by that coaching staff that was there, not the current one. So, yes, he is playing a team he hates, but it's not the same coaching staff that he's going to see tonight. But still, it's a team that he hates. You know, the logo means a lot when you hate something, right? So I think he's going to come out fired up. And then Cutter, he's come to Anaheim and totally revived the Ducks this year. I know they've had their injuries to their goalies and they kind of dropped off a little bit. But I think Cutter's going to have something to prove tonight, too, to Philadelphia that you shouldn't have got rid of me, even though he didn't want to be there to begin with. But that being said, I think you got a lot of hatred. And then you also have the Ducks coming off a 7-4 beatdown to Washington last night. Goals can be scored on the Ducks. It's going to be up to them to keep up with Philly, which Rick Tocchet does not score a ton of goals. He's more or less that grinded out coach. He would rather beat you like 2-0, 3-1 and get home. They're not very high scoring under Rick Tocchet. Just look at Vancouver last year. So I think though that Philly can score on Anaheim, and I think Anaheim's going to have to do what they need to do to try to score on Philly tonight.
That game is in Anaheim, correct? Or is it in Philly?
I feel like it's in Philly, but I will tell you for sure in just a moment.
While you're looking
that game is in Philly. It's in Philly.
Okay. So listen. Yep. The city of brotherly love only pertains to people who live in Philadelphia. That brotherly love stops the minute you're visiting. It's all about Philadelphia, and that is going to be a madhouse. Let's take a quick look at the Florida-Toronto game. Florida is going to be on the road playing in Toronto. Look, there's not a lot of niceties on either one of these teams either. There's not a whole lot of respect for either side when it comes to these teams. What do you see here?
I see a lot of hatred. Once again, Toronto fans are miserable with Florida after they got put out of the playoffs again last year. But you see a lot of inconsistency, especially with Florida. I know they got a big 2-1 win against Colorado, but they completely crapped the bed in the Winter Classic and didn't show up at all. Brad Marchand, now this is Brad Marchand talking. I don't know this for fact, but he said it was down to Toronto and Florida to where he wanted to go, and I guess Florida made him the better offer. So he went to Florida, and lo and behold, they won another cup there with his help. So he's not going to be very liked when he goes into Toronto tonight. And like Nate just said, Mikko Rantanen likes to fuel off of hatred. Brad Marchand loves to be hated. Like if you had heels in hockey, he is your top heel. He thrives on hate. So I love Brad Marchand tonight.
Well, they call him the Rat for a reason, right? I mean, look, he's always willing to get down and dirty and into the mud with anybody. So love this. Before we get into our picks, I do have to remind everybody, and let me pull up this graphic right here for us, because take a look at this one. We have got, how am I doing this? Well, that didn't work out very well, Rob. I'm sorry.
There you go.
We'll see if we can do it this way. We do have the Fantasy Playoff League. I'll get around to these. We need a producer. Fantasy Playoff League for the Weekday Wagers. Entry fee is $20. If you haven't already gotten in, DG went over all of the league parameters. It's a guillotine-style league. Minimum of 12 people, max up to 16, I believe. After this afternoon, I believe at 4 o'clock, he's going to open it up to everybody outside of the weekday wagers that wants to participate. So if you are interested in taking place in this fantasy playoff league, it's going to go for 2 weeks, I believe, right? 2 or 3 weeks.
I think all the way to the Super Bowl. It'll be down to the last 2 teams, I think, in the Super Bowl.
Okay. So I know that, Joe did pay, but unfortunately, Joe, I paid first. So you're behind me I'm just kidding. No, we all know you paid first. We paid first. And yes, it's going to go on for 3 weeks, as DG just pointed out in the chat. So get it in. The only thing I'm going to be able to provide to this league is a $20 donation to the winner and the graphic behind it. That's about all I got for this. Where'd you go? There you are. Any thought? You know what? Just between you and me, because no one else is listening, Rob. Okay. How do you approach a fantasy football playoff edition? How do you go about trying to put your team together?
I look at the names that did well for me and I throw them out the window, because it's always a third string wide receiver who does all the work, or a second string running back who scores all the touchdowns. So, but no, there is one guy, and I can't even reveal it now because we're all going to be going against each other. But there's one guy I think I even texted you and DG about, and I said, mark it down. If this guy did this to them, he's going to eat them alive when they play each other. I'm not going to reveal who that is, but I will have some real money on him and for this league. And also, I paid second, because as soon as Joe said he paid first, I sent DG a Venmo so I wouldn't forget.
Okay. So I'm just writing that down in my notes. Look for third and fourth string position players.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Thanks. That's great advice.
I may or may not be giving y'all good advice, because I don't want y'all to beat me.
Yeah. Listen, third or fourth string players. Look, you're just helping the cause. My money's donation money to begin with. So I already know that going in. I just enjoyed playing around with it. And Joe wants to know, who is it, Robbie?
Might see on Friday.
All right.
For the Friday show. I'll put it like that.
All right.
By then, the draft will be over. So there you go. Because I think we're drafting Thursday, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So here's the question then for you. Are we doing a Robbie's radar for this weekend?
So I saw Joe ask as y'all closed yesterday. I'm going to take some stuff home tonight and look at some things. If I can come up with it, you'll know tonight for sure if I can do one. Playoffs are just tricky. It's just trickier in the playoffs, because you can look at stats and you look at head-to-head, but a lot of that really doesn't matter. And when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter, because you got teams playing a little bit differently now. You got teams playing more conservatively now. So the one guy I was telling you about, I don't think nothing matters. I think he's going to tear him up. But yeah, I think we can. I'm going to look at it tonight, and I'll let you know for sure.
Okay, sounds good. So we might have a little Robbie's radar on the menu for tomorrow's show. You know what? I don't care what menu you have. This is always good on any menu.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy Seabass, the only 5-star chef in the game. We all know sports betting is full of bad beats and tough calls, but when it comes to flavor, there's no second guessing. Bassett's Blends is the plus EV lock of every meal. We don't need a stinking model. Crafted with winning spices and bold taste, Bassett's Blends comes in 3 flavors: original, hot, and no salt. That's going to turn chicken, steak, vegetables, any dish into a can't miss cover every night. With Bassett's Blends, there's no bad beats, no flavor fades, just guaranteed greatness. Check out the link right here where you can pick up your Bassett's Blends for a guaranteed lock every single night.
Oh, that's not me.
No, that is definitely me. Hey, I put this in on the site at -110. That number has dropped to +100. And you know what? I really don't care what it drops to, because Leon Draisaitl owns the Nashville Predators. And here's the why. In 28 games, he has 27 goals. He has 13 multi-point games, 9 3-point games, 4 4-point games, 3 5-point games, 10 multi-goal games, 2 hat tricks, 15 power play goals, 1 shorthanded goal, and 6 game winners just against Nashville in 28 games. Look, there's death, taxes, and Draisaitl being the Preds' dad. He's going to own them again tonight. I know Edmonton has sucked as of late. I get it. His line hasn't been the best. Jack Roslovic is back, so that should help him out. But I don't know what it is. I don't know what we did to Mr. Draisaitl, but please, please kill us tonight because I want to make some money. So give me Leon Draisaitl 2+ points at +100.
Look, and I am sticking with that same game because this is all about an Oilers power play goal. This simply just boils down to the numbers. At home, the Edmonton Oilers have the third highest power play unit at 36.4% from an efficiency standpoint. What that means is that these guys are scoring over 25% of the time, 36% of the time, a third of every power play opportunity, they are putting a goal in the net. They make people pay for penalties. They're fast, they're efficient, and they shoot from everywhere. The flip side of this, Nashville. Nashville has seen its penalty rate actually increase over the last 6 weeks. They have gone up. The model has this one projected out at over almost 5 penalty opportunities for the Edmonton Oilers here. I love this spot for the Oilers to score some goals, and we can cash Rob's play and my play all at the same time. How's that?
Sorry, I'm just laughing at Joe's comment. Said that hat looks like it came with a free bowl of soup.
Oh, he's quoting what's the movie? Caddyshack.
Oh, okay. How'd I miss? I love Caddyshack.
Yeah.
It caught me off guard. That just made me laugh.
That's all right.
But no, I love your play. I love your play because Leon's going to score at least one goal in the power play tonight.
See? I agree. I think he's going to do and well, you know what? We're here, right? So might as well just jump right to it. Let's take a look at this light the lamp here. We got Nathan McKinnon at +105. Well, first of all, let me say this. I think of all the times we have done this light the lamp, you look at these 5 guys, and I like all 5 of them to get a goal here tonight. You got Nathan McKinnon at +105, Leon at +120, Austin Matthews at 125, Tage Thompson +145, and Zach Hyman at 155. I mean, these aren't crazy numbers, right?
Right. No, this is probably the best list and best matchups that I think we've had ever doing this. McKinnon especially, I backed off him because I think it's dropped a little bit, but Tampa's playing better. And I don't know how they're playing better because they're down so many guys on defense right now. So I really don't know how they're winning games, but Colorado's a different beast. But I don't know. I stayed off of Nate tonight for that reason. But I mean, you know who I'm taking. I'm taking Leon Draisaitl. I'm taking him for 1 goal at +120. I'm taking him for 2 goals at +700. And I took a little sprinkle on Fanatics since they limit me to $10, and I put that $10 on a hat trick for +3,500. So there you go. Leon Draisaitl for a hattie at +3,500. I put it on Fanatics for $10. Let's just see if we can make some lemonade out of some lemons.
Wow. That would be impressive if not only he lit the lamp and got 1, but you called the hat trick and was like, yeah, this has got it all over it. I'll tell you what, though. I'm going out to Buffalo. Why? Simply because Tage Thompson is taking on the Vancouver Canucks. The Buffalo Sabres just snapped a 10-game winning streak. They are looking to get back on the board. And Rob, I pulled up a page out of your playbook and dove deep into the numbers. And do you have any idea how many games the Buffalo Sabres have played at home on a Tuesday?
I don't, actually.
9. 9 games this season have been played at home in Buffalo on a Tuesday. Guess how many times Tage Thompson has scored on a Tuesday at home this season?
I should know this, but I'm going to guess 9.
7.
Okay, close.
7. Close enough. You know what? It's not 100%, but it's damn near. Well, it's better than 70%. I know that. I can do the quick math there. So give me Tage Thompson at +145. I fully expect the Sabres to get back on track and to take care of a Vancouver team that just hasn't been doing very well as of late.
Yeah. I put some on Tage tonight. He has 2 goals against them in their last 2 games as well. I don't know if Quinn was with them on December 11th. I might have slept since then. I don't remember when Quinn got traded, but I know he's at least got 1 goal when they had Quinn Hughes there last season.
Yep. And Nate says it's good to see Tage on Team USA. Yes, I agree. Joe is with you, apparently.
Don't do that. I don't know what it is, Joe, but I think you forgot to bet Ryan Leonard yesterday and it hit. So I would have bet anxious to see if we and you, and it's not a diss. Me and Mark can't bet the same things either. We cannot do it because it's some kind of bad mojo there and bets loose. Me and Boom Boom, same way. We don't bet the same stuff. So I don't know, Joe. I love my play, but don't kill my vibe, please.
Don't kill my vibe. You know what? I will say this. If there's anybody that is a non-killer to vibes, I think that makes sense. Somebody who's not going to hurt your vibe, Joe's got to be the guy. Okay. Yeah. I can tell you from personal experience. Listen, I would sit down with Joe and have another beer with him 1,000 times over. So
yeah, it looked like fun. I saw the picture. It looked like fun. I would join you on that.
Yeah, we had a good time. Good time there. Maybe that's what we have to do. Plan a little trip out to Vegas.
I'm ready.
Do the Preds play the Knights?
Eventually, we're in the same conference, so I know we got to travel out there at least once this season if we haven't already. We just played them the other night, but I can't remember if it was in Vegas or Nashville. I know we won that game somehow, but I can't remember if we play them again in Vegas or not.
Okay. All right. Well, we got to make that happen. DG just threw this into the chat. Any thoughts on Owen Tippett scoring a goal at plus 240?
I never bet on Owen Tippett. All he has to do is tip it in, right? And he never can when I bet on him. But I'm not betting on him. So yeah, good luck, DG. I think that's a great look.
All right. And hey, Mike, I want to say thank you, first of all, because you're the only person who's put in. We've had people ask for it. Mavs money line for the People's Parlay. So unless there's another suggestion, and I don't see any. Nate says Mikko Rantanen at plus 195 because the Moose is getting loose.
Yeah, I bet that goal scorer too. I like that tonight. Okay. And Dallas has got to play better. Dallas has got to bounce back. I know Seth Jarvis is returning to Carolina's lineup tonight, so they've got some help. Shane Gostisbehere came back this weekend, so they should be a little bit better. But, man, Dallas has got to get back to form. They've looked terrible as of late.
Okay. So you like – who did we just see?
Yeah, I like it.
Okay.
Mikko Rantanen for a goal. You may, if you're doing for the People's Parlay, you may juice it down to a point, and you're still going to be drinking some juice because he's usually like 1.5 points is his normal line. But if you're doing for the People's Parlay, it might be okay to put in that for just a point.
Well, DG just added Spurs money line, so we will take a look at that. And Nate wants to reiterate the American Mikko Rantanen. Yeah, Blake Coleman let us down yesterday.
Yeah, we're trading him to Canada. We're getting rid of Blake Coleman.
We're going to pull back Tom Wilson.
Yeah, we're gonna bring Tom back.
All right.
Gosh.
Hey, just a real quick look ahead. We haven't had a chance to talk about it or anything like that. The college football and the NFL schedules, the model projections and everything just went up on juststatsports.com. Any thoughts going into this college? Right, we're in the semifinals now.
Yep.
Huge matchups. Oregon's taking on Indiana, and who's the other one?
Ole Miss
and
Miami.
Yeah. Any thoughts?
Those are tough. I know the playoff committee got a lot of flack for getting us to this spot, but when you break it down, I mean, it's really not much separating any of these 4 teams right now. I say that. I think the winner of Indiana, Oregon wins it all. But even in just the matchup between Miami and Ole Miss, I think it's a solid matchup. I like Indiana. I know it's hard to beat a team twice, but you're not playing Kirby Smart twice. You're playing Dan Lanning twice. So I haven't seen how that turns out for people. But I kind of like Indiana right now to take all of it in the college realm.
You think so? See, I like a lot of scoring in the Miami-Ole Miss game. I think that both offenses, yes, Miami's defense is great, and Miami's offense can slow things down and grind it out. But I think Ole Miss plays at such a fast pace that there's going to be plenty of possession opportunities to at least put up some points. So I like that there. I think Oregon covers at 4.5.
Yeah, that's almost a pick 'em for me. I mean, it really is. It's almost a pick 'em for me.
Well, they played once already this year, and it was it was tied midway through the fourth quarter going into that game. So I think Oregon's going to be one of those teams where you beat them once, you got really lucky. I don't know that you can do it twice.
And they don't have to play at 11 a.m. because Oregon starts slow in those early games. So at least you get a primetime game for Oregon as well. So that's going to help them out too. But like I said, we gave them a lot of flack, but I'm genuinely excited for both of these games. I'm taking Miami over Ole Miss. I just think that defensive line, Chambliss plays in the SEC, but even in the SEC, you're about to see a different defensive line that you've ever seen. There's guys on that line that could all probably go first, second round of the draft next year. Ruben Bain, especially.
And I real quick, I'm going to switch gears again because, we're not just here on YouTube. We're on several other platforms, Twitter being one, and other ones. We do have somebody I've never seen before joining us in the chat, and that's Fletchy One. Are the Mighty Ducks still good? Well, I think
don't ask DG. He'll tell you, yes, absolutely. Stanley Cup champions this year. They started off good, Fletchy. When they started off good, they ran into some injuries, some bad luck injuries wise. The West is a gauntlet once you get to the top. But everything trying to get to that wild card spot is still kind of murky. So they still have a shot maybe to get in the playoffs just because of how murky everything is. As DG as
he starts to spam the chat with all his quacks. Miss Kimberly White, before we move to the NFL, says the fun fact of today is the Bengals spent the 17th overall pick on Shamar Stewart in the draft. He had as many solo tackles as Jamar Chase this season.
Whew. And they still brought Zach Taylor back.
I think that in a nutshell kind of explains Cincinnati, right? I mean,
yeah.
Tell me you're a Cincinnati Bengal without telling me you're a Cincinnati Bengal, I guess is the best way to put that.
The fact that they brought Taylor back too, he was one that we were talking Sunday night that I said I wouldn't be shocked if he got canned with Zach Taylor. But it's the Bengals, man. I mean, Dallas is poorly ran, so is the Raiders, but the Bengals are right up there with us as far as poorly run organizations. So, yeah, of course they brought him back.
I do have some Rich likes Ole Miss at plus 3.5. I like that.
Yep.
Scotty Too Hotty.
Really close.
Just he's saying what everybody's thinking. Hit that like button. Smash it for us, please. And Mike is trying to decide. Maybe we can help him. He's like a Miami, Indiana money line parlay or Miami. Yeah. So he's really heavy Miami. He thinks Miami's going to win that game straight up. Miami, Oregon plus 10.5 parlay. Can't decide which one he likes more.
I kind of like the Miami, Oregon 10.5 parlay the most out of those options. But I agree with you. I like Miami in that game. Chambliss is good, and I think Chambliss just increased his draft stock by a bunch because you're talking about a kid that had nothing going for him until Lane Kiffin got a hold of him. But he's been playing lights out. If Ole Miss wins, he has to have another crazy good game. And you'll be able to tell, I think, real early if that's going to happen or not with how they play.
Yeah, and I agree, Mike. I agree with what DG's saying here. Oregon plus 25 is such a better look than Indiana on the money line. Because I think Oregon could upset that. In fact, if I'm looking at what the model says, the model does have Oregon winning in the simulations at just over 52% of the time. I also like with all the points that I see being scored in the Miami Ole Miss game. What if you tease, because that line right now is at 51.5. You could tease that down into the mid to high 40s, put it with Oregon plus 10.5, and I think you got a winning ticket there as well. So, but I think the consensus from all three of us is Miami, Oregon plus 10 is the best way to approach that. And I know we're running out of time here. Real quick, we're up against the 30 minutes, but real quick, looking ahead to this weekend in the NFL, any games that stand out to you like this is a must-watch or that you think that the playoffs are going to hinge on?
It's a couple. We saw what LA did when they had to travel to Carolina already this season, right? They lost, but I don't think that's going to happen again. I think LA is going to probably beat them pretty bad. I think Green Bay beats Chicago. And I have faded the Bears all year, and you know what? I'm still going to fade the Bears. Chicago's going to lose to Green Bay at home. Probably going to be a Baltimore Ravens-esque loss. Probably going to get a doink off a field goal. Something heartbreaking because Bears fans are just like us, Cowboys fans. It's not going to happen for you. I'm sorry. You're going to lose. And look who you're playing. The same team who kills us every time, the Green Bay Packers. I'm sorry. Sorry, Bears fans. But it's going to happen.
I think that it's funny you say that because when I looked at the slate, I'm like, I like Green Bay to go into Chicago and beat the Bears. So I'm with you there. I agree. I think that we see a much different version of the LA Rams than we got in week 7. That was just a horrible game all the way around. Very interested to see how Buffalo handles Jacksonville.
That's my favorite one.
And
that's my favorite game coming up.
That's either going to be a absolute shootout or neither offense is going to be able to move the ball against the defenses, and it becomes just a letdown. I'm hoping for a shootout. I think we see a big game from both. And look, we got two teams who are notoriously warm weather teams going into cold weather environments. And I'm talking about the Houston Texans taking on Pittsburgh in Pittsburgh and the LA Chargers traveling to New England to take on the Patriots. Which warm weather team do you think can actually win?
I'm sorry. I think Houston has the better shot just because it's not to do with LA more than it has to do with how Pittsburgh is. Pittsburgh and Baltimore, I don't know if either team deserve to be in the playoffs, but
right.
It is who it is. But I think Houston has the better chance. I think going into Pittsburgh, I think they can get that job done. I don't care how much holy water you put in that end zone. I don't know how much Rodgers have left in the tank. I don't know how much magic he's got left. And going to New England is not fun. And New England versus LA, notoriously, it's always been New England winning, right? Especially in the playoffs. I don't know if that changes this weekend.
Yeah, and what scares me is, one, there's two things that scare me really bad with this because this was so impromptu. But you and I are like simpatico on all of this because I think Houston is the team that even going into a cold weather environment, that might hurt the offense. But the Texans defense is so damn solid that I think it shuts down the Steelers, and the Steelers are going to have a hard time doing anything. We saw it against a Ravens defense that is not nearly as capable as the Houston Texans defense. So I really like Houston to come out of there with the win in the cold weather environment. And I agree. For whatever reason, boy, when the Chargers travel into cold weather in January, it never ends well for us.
And I saw Joe's comment about early edge loves the Chargers. The only thing I can think is the Chargers do have a stout secondary. So Drake May against the stout secondary, maybe. I haven't watched anything, so I haven't saw their analysis. But maybe that's one of the main reasons why Omarion Hampton being healthy. But I don't trust LA's offensive line. That's the biggest thing with LA is I don't know how much time Herbert's going to have in the backfield.
Right.
Herbert's rushing prop may be in play. I haven't looked at that yet either, but just talking out loud right now, I'm thinking that could be a play as well because he's going to have to do some things on his legs.
Yeah, I think defensively the Chargers are pretty stout. They can hold up and they can contain a lot of what New England's going to try to do. What scares me is, to your point, the offensive line and the Chargers' inability to really get a running game going to take that pressure off of Justin Herbert and the passing game.
Yeah. Yeah. So. And still, you have weapons. You've got McConkey. You've got Allen. You've got Quentin Johnson. Like, somehow McConkey's going to have that game, right, where he finally has that breakout game like we were used to seeing last year.
Yeah, he fell off. He's off. He is completely off the radar.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
I do want to give a quick update.
Yeah.
Mike said he got Miami money line in Oregon plus 10.5 at plus 103 on DraftKings. And it's also plus 115 on Bet365. So, look, I think that might be the college football weekday wagers play of the day.
Good, yeah.
I like it.
Could very well be.
I like it. So with that, look, we will definitely try to have a Robbie's Radar tomorrow. depending on what you find, what you see and look at. We're not going to force anything, obviously, but we can certainly talk some player props and kind of walk through what that looks like. Tons of hockey tonight. Anything else outside of hockey that has your interest?
Whew. No, it's just hockey right now. You can't really breathe because NFL is not over, but you just don't have that full slate of games coming up this weekend. So there's not as much that I'm having to look at. So like even last night, I played Nintendo with the kids because there's no Monday Night Football, and we watched the WWE Stranger Things theme episode, which was kind of a letdown. I was hoping for more. But yeah, tonight it's nothing but hockey and looking at potential Robbie's radar. Yeah.
Gotcha. All right. For me, there's still a ton of college basketball. And I've been diving into college basketball as well as the NBA, trying to get all this stuff going. We got Duke and Louisville playing tonight.
Yep. And I hate to change the subject. Did you watch the FCS National Championship last night?
I did.
What a crazy game. What a crazy game. I did catch the end of that game.
That was absolutely nuts. And Montana State did what I thought they were going to do. They came out and they just laid the wood to them early and got up 21-7. And then kind of forgot that Illinois State was a very capable football team and could come back. And that's exactly what happened. Montana State, congratulations to the FCS champions. They won it in overtime.
Yep.
Hats off to them. Congratulations. I can tell you that my family are fanatical Grizzly fans. So the hate between the Grizzlies and the Bobcats is real. It's a very real thing in Montana. So it's congratulations that the state of Montana won. I guess that's how people are looking at it. If you're Grizzly fans, it's at least Montana won. So
and it wasn't North Dakota State for a change.
Exactly. 100%. It never can be North Dakota if you're from Montana.
Wow.
So
2 states I've never even been to.
Well, I've been to both. All right. Listen, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. If you would be so kind, if you haven't done so already, hit that like button on the way out. It certainly helps us grow, and we are growing. And I don't care on what platform you're catching us. We're just so glad you were able to join us, and we appreciate the support. Be sure to tune in tomorrow at 2 o'clock Eastern, where we're going to do this all over again, hopefully with a little Robbie's radar. Hopefully. Fingers crossed. Until then, take care of yourselves. Be kind to one another, and let's cash these tickets.